welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Meet Your Neighbours Unplugged. And today we're doing something completely different, as Monty Python would say. And today what I promised you I would do with this segment is I would talk to some people who have been through the struggle of YouTube and are pushing forward. So I'd like to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, EpicHanz. How you doing today, Hans?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good, my friend.
In Aussie land.
Good, my friend. Very good. Epic and I have known each other for quite a few years now. In fact, I'm a moderator on his channel. I don't know why. His judgment's a bit flawed. But yeah, we've known each other for a few years, and Hans somehow found one of my build videos a little while ago. But Hans,
probably like almost 2 years, maybe longer. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. But I would say it would be at least 2 years, if not longer than that. And I think the reason I wanted to have Hans on the show today was the fact that around that time that we met, his channel was about where my channel is now, and then his channel just took off, and you know we're sitting just under 6,000 subs now, which is pretty significant and a lot of hard work. So I thought it would be great to bring him on the show and get a bit of an insight to the struggles and his journey with YouTube, and hopefully it helps some people listening with their own channels. So Mike,
yeah,
going
back, am I taking it away? No.
Take it away. Take it away. This
is go ahead.
Let's go to the scary stuff. So going back into the kind of mists of times, how long have you had your channel up and running for now, Hans?
So I started December of 2016. I didn't upload my first video until New Year's, I believe, or Christmas, or the day before New Year's, something like that. So yeah, I started the channel with primarily just uploading videos. Wasn't sure where I really wanted to go with it. Obviously, I was playing a lot of video games, so I decided, you know, why not just record them? Some people think I'm pretty funny. So I started doing that. I bought a new computer, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. Editing started becoming a passion. So I started doing that. And then, like, I kind of just started playing different games and just seeing if any of them took off. So I started with basically anything I could get my hands on, something that was fun. Did a lot of first videos with friends and family.
Yep.
My first video on YouTube was an Ark Survival Evolved video.
Yeah, I like Ark. Ark's a pretty nice game. I've watched a few people muddle the way through it. It's it's a very different game, Ark.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. I mean it's kind of like what you're doing with Fallout. You can build your own places and get the right dinosaurs. Yep. Plug to Ark. Hashtag support both our channels. So I did that for a while. I think I did that for 6 months. And yeah, I want to say my very first start at streaming was pretty new to YouTube. The YouTube streaming community was very small at the time. I didn't even have the correct internet for it, so I think I streamed it straight off my PlayStation or Xbox, one of them. And the first stream I had was Fallout.
Nice. I was probably in your chat.
Yeah, you probably were. So I just started playing Fallout, and I didn't really. That's how I found XP's channel. I just started going through, channels and just like, oh, this is cool. We can do this in this game. That's the idea of YouTube, anyways, is kind of getting these walkthroughs and things like that. So started going through it, and I just kind of did newest upload, and I was like Fallout creation. I think I found Stu. Hashtag XP. And yeah, and I think that's pretty much how I found you, and I think you were part of my first streams.
I think I probably was, mate. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you just reminded me. You still owe me that build.
Load up the game again. I think like the only thing I built was a walkway, and I was so proud of it. See what I did, man? I built the walkway with no mods. It's completely vanilla.
Mate, I'll take it. I'll take it back to So you're sitting there going, you know what would be cool? Let's do YouTube. What's the thought process of, okay, how the heck am I going to do this? I guess what's the thought process of, okay, number one, how do I come up with a name for the channel? And number two, what the heck am I going to cover on my channel? What's the thought process that you kind of went through, if you can remember that far back?
Sure, yeah. So my name came from, which is pretty simplistic, but so I used to play a lot of Halo back in the day. I don't know if you remember Halo. Halo 2 was kind of the first online co-op game. So I played a lot of that. And at the time, my user handle was Etch-a-Sketch.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna use that, but I was like, anyways. Or it was Echo. Or I think it was Echo. Maybe it was, I don't know. It was one of those. I think it was Echo. Sounds better than that sketch. So we'll go with Echo. You can edit that, right?
Yeah, no problem.
You don't have to. It's just fun.
I'll probably won't,
so. Fair enough. There was just something about one of the games, and it was a shotgun thing, and I think,
it's time to get up.
Time to do this interview. Sorry about it. Hey everybody, how you doing?
It's all right, man. Your drums will recover eventually.
Yeah, right. It's even louder on my side. What was I going to say there? Oh, so it was like a shotgun battle or something like that, and one of the guys I was not streaming at the time, but gaming with was like, man, you should change your name to Epic because you're epic. And I don't even know if that was his voice. It's just what I picture in my head he sounds like. And so that's where I got Epic from. And this is way before Epic with Fall or whatever it's called, Fortnite and all that stuff. But and then Hanz's is pretty easy. It's my middle name, so
nice.
So I just like, let's go with it. Got the EH thing going on there. If I change it later, maybe I'll just call it Hans, and somehow EpicHanz still got. Some people call me EpicHanz. Some people just call me Epic or Hans
or Hanzo.
Or Hanzo. Yeah.
It's funny because I get the same thing. I get Gaming for XP, I get G4, I get XP, I get Stu, so it's funny. People will just they all kind of make their variations, but I think I like your name because it's short, it's sweet, it's kind of nice and crisp, and you remember it, and it's catchy, and I think it's important for something like YouTube that it's a very important point. I think that a lot of people probably miss, that you want something that's going to kind of stand out and you're going to kind of relate to or whatever. So it's interesting to hear the kind of background behind it. So I guess then you've come up with a name. What then?
Yeah. So and that's the other thing. Like, if you guys are really wanting to start a channel, make sure that your name you pick doesn't have like 500 different channels. Make sure that social media is a big factor in a lot of this stuff, so make sure all the social medias are okay. Because the last thing you really want to do is create a YouTube handle and then someone else has it on like Instagram or anything like that. Even if you don't like Instagram, go ahead and make an Instagram, take it, because you never know where the future holds, but at least you have that namesake.
That's right.
Because that's the first thing I did. I was like, okay, because I think I had some other names, and then I settled on this because no one had it.
Yep, same. It took me a long time to come up with Gaming for XP because I had an idea what I wanted to call the channel, but then I done the same. I done searches, I done all kinds of stuff before I even named the channel, for that very reason, because I mean, you do it very well. You have to brand your channel as you go forward, and you've got to kind of make sure that that name isn't replicated. Otherwise, people won't find you, and it's a difficult thing for all the people that are doing YouTube for your channel to kind of stand out. So we'll talk about that in a while, I guess. So,
yeah. Well, and the other thing is branding, right? So once you have the name, you got to look at channel art. You got to have something catchy that stands above all. So one, you got to make sure you have a name that people might eventually catch on to. Something catchy, something good. If you are not an artist, then maybe make friends with somebody that can do that.
Yep.
And come up with some good channel art, some good thumbnails. Yep. So I mean, that's really the starts of everything. Make sure your tags are correctly indicated.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've done videos and I put like 3 tags on there. You're going to get like maybe 1 or 2 people watching it. So
yeah, it's funny you should say that, because it's something I know I've got a how-to series which I'm going to bring back shortly, and that's one of the things I'm going to talk about is not only tags but keywords, and how important they are to get you in up the different levels of the search, various search engines, which is very, very, very important. But you make a very good point. Your overall look and also your thumbs are super, super important, because the way that people consume YouTube is very visual. That makes a decision whether they click or not on your videos. So thumbnails are super important.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want something with a thumbnail that has a whole paragraph of something on there. You want a few bold letters. Mine don't even say names anymore; just say my name, and and they have my channel colors on a picture. It's whatever you're feeling. I guess that's the biggest thing. But at the same token, what would you look for as if you're looking for something up, you're going to click the one with the paragraph on the picture, or one with a nice looking car of the same token. You know what I mean? So that is just think of what you would want to see, and then that's kind of what you're going to replicate.
What I will do, guys, is I'll leave a link down below to a video that I'd done last year regarding thumbnails and the kind of psychology behind thumbnails, and it'll give you a much better idea on this. But I totally agree, because I done an exercise where I went through on the homepage of YouTube, and I just scrolled down, and I clicked on or looked and I highlighted the thumbnails that kind of caught my attention, and then thought about it for a while. And that was one thing that I set myself at the start of 2019, was to improve my thumbnails, to try and attract more viewers, and it actually did work along with keywords. So don't underrate the importance of a good thumbnail, and I think you do them very well, Hans, and they're very bright, and like you say, you don't need to put your name on it after a while, because your branding speaks for itself. Your colourful head, but it's all got to tie in. Everything's got to tie in together, and that's a difficult part, especially if you're doing like you do, Dead by Daylight, and on various series that you do consistently. They've all got to look kind of consistent, but sometimes different, to say, oh yeah, that's, so people can just look
video.
Yeah, so somebody can just look at it and say, he's doing that game today. Oh, that's a new one, because it's slightly different than the last thumbnail. And that's difficult. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, but once you get into understanding how that works,
I think YouTube as a whole is just your creative genius, right? It's whatever you want to put out there. So if you're passionate about it, then hopefully someone else is passionate too. But I think it's just about being creative and going out there and seeing what works. It's one of those things. It's trial by error. So if it doesn't work, then try something else.
If you had the chance to kind of be somebody that was maybe an alien, maybe is the wrong way to do it, but if you're an alien,
be careful, man.
If you're somebody that comes in and was able to retrospectively look at where you started and where your channel is now, what would you say some of the major changes you've made to your channel to attract so many viewers would be?
Well, I mean, so my platform kind of went from Let's Plays to walkthroughs to streaming. And the biggest thing is, for streaming wise, and that's kind of what I'm on now, more so, is to always try to improve your streams.
Yep.
So it's about visuals. So if you're going to use a camera, you know, do you want a green screen? I used to have a green screen, and I decided I didn't think it was very personal. So I changed all my background, put a real background, put some lights in that matched my channel colors.
I love your background, actually, mate. I really do love your background. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It pops. It really does pop. So you've done a great job. So check that out when you get a minute, guys. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I mean, like, it's always in trying to improve yourself. I mean, I change my intros to streams, you know, more than I probably should. But I'm always trying to improve my visuals. Because I always wanted to try to get some new people and, you know, just try different games. The best thing I can tell you, though, if you are a new channel or if you're just trying to grow in general, stick to 1 or 2 games at first.
Yep.
Especially if you're really good at it.
Yeah.
If you're not good at it, you better be really funny. That's my thing. I'm not very good at games. I'm just very, very entertaining.
whether you're trying to or not.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes words come out and it's okay.
Unfortunately, with streaming, you can't edit it out either.
Well, you can afterwards, but then what's the point, right? It's like, I don't remember that. Yeah, I think it's just for me, like, if you're doing Let's Plays, you know, try your best to be entertaining. I mean, a lot of people are different. Maybe you're just really good. Some people don't even talk in their videos.
Yep, I know.
I guess it's just what you want to come across. If you're not very comfortable on the mic, but you still like playing games, play the game. And if you're really good at it, edit it so it looks like you're really, really good. Well, it took you one shot, but in reality,
actually, you can. One of the things that I've kind of evolved to, mate, and it's partly due to yourself, is the fact that I'm like, I'll get into a new game, and I'll stream it, and I'll say, you know what, I might not be good, but hey, come along for the journey, and we'll kind of explore this game together.
Oh yeah,
and you know. You'll probably make different mistakes to me, but you know it's all part of having a new game and that kind of immersion and you know, being able to just have a little bit of fun with it. So I don't think there's. I mean, I'm not saying you should be horrible at the game, but
at least not on purpose.
But no,
unless you're doing like super death mode or something, you're like, yeah, last 10 seconds.
But there's something about that people can relate to, and your viewers will relate to, the fact that you're not perfect at the game, and with every new game that you start, there is going to be a bit of a learning curve there. But as long as it's, as Epic says, as long as you're kind of highly entertaining.
Well, here's the kicker, right? Like, I think I did one stream where I think I died like 80 times on it, but it was entertaining because, like, I mean, like, at first I was like, this sucks. I don't want to die as much, but then I was like, I'm gonna do a highlight video of all my deaths. It'll probably be longer than the stream.
It doesn't help when you had guys in the chat counting the number of deaths that you had, but I'm not going to say who that was anyway.
Well, it you know, the thing is at least you're interacting with them.
Yep.
And they're in tune with it. So it's like it's like, yeah, it sucks that you suck, but then at the same token, it's pretty cool when people are paying attention and watching. So, like I said, it's especially on any social media or anything like that, don't be afraid of making fun of yourself. Take hard critics, you know what I mean? Like, just be fun with it. I mean, it's the internet, right?
Yeah.
Don't take anything personally.
No.
I mean, there's times where I had some crazy stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you'll sit there, and if you take everything to heart, you're never gonna be able to continue to go. So
you make a very good point, right? And it's something that I've actually wrote down this morning to talk to you about, because there are going to be those times where you're just going to throw your arms up and say, you know what, I'm done with this. And it can be something as simple, and it's happened to me in the last couple of days. That's why it's fresh in my mind. You know, you're going to understand that the way that YouTube works, you're going to lose subscribers at some point. You're not going to continue to grow your channel. You're going to have those times when you're going to lose once, and then two, and I've lost about 4 or 5 in the last couple of days. I think you said at one point you got about 800 in one hit or something.
Well, yeah. So I think like I should be probably way above 7,000 at this point.
Yep.
I lost 800. There was a purge. If you guys know what that is, it's when YouTube kind of cleans up dead channels, and which is good because then you know exactly you know who is who. But yeah, so I had the purge happen, lost close to 800, and then for the last month or so, I haven't really been streaming that much just because of personal stuff and new opportunities in IRL. So I've been losing quite a bit, which is, at first I was like, holy crap, that's a lot, but it's okay. Because like every day it's going to be different. There's going to be days where you might lose 5 people, and in 3 days you might gain 30. I think it's just about routinely doing the same thing, making sure that you're keeping up. You're going to have those days where you're feeling down. Sometimes I'm ready to stream, and then I'll get home after a long day, and it's like, man, I don't know if I can be entertaining right now. So you might take a day off.
It's fun.
It just it really depends on your personality. It really depends on what you want from the channel. If it's more of just a number thing, it's probably not a thing for you. But if you want to have fun with it and just be entertaining, put your content out there, your channel will grow.
And I think you are going to get those weeks and even months where you're going to get people disliking your videos, and you're going to take it personally. You're going to get people unsubscribing for your channel. You're going to get comments. It will happen to you, and like Epic says, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. There's strategies that you can put in place to deal with that. The one thing that I love about YouTube for me personally, and the one thing that I've learned about YouTube and about the community, and we'll talk about the community in a minute, is it has a funny habit of when you're like at that point of going, you know what, this is just not worth it. You have a bit of a sook, and it has a habit of suddenly you get five subscribers, 6 subscribers, you get all these, or it's one comment that somebody makes or something, and it's enough to just go, you know what? For all the haters out there, there's more people that like what you do, and that's why you're making content, and that's who you're making content for, and it is a bit of a roller coaster ride, but I think it's good advice that you give, mate, about just grow with it, just keep going, be consistent.
Definitely. And I mean, you got to really look at what you're building. If you're building a gaming channel, which I hope you're building a gaming channel, because I don't know why you're watching Gaming with XP right now. But hey, if you're not, then that's all to you too. If you're just starting out and you want to know how to do it, not necessarily copy other people, but go look at some of the bigger YouTubers. Go look at some of the smaller YouTubers. Just go experience what you want to do. If you're just strictly doing streaming, go start checking out channels. go comment on their channel, and if it's something you like, and just be interactive with their group. You're not there to promote your channel by any means, or you shouldn't be, but you're there to kind of start building your own community, right?
Yeah, learning.
So
yeah,
and learn how the streamer handles comments.
yeah,
If you want to be a streamer that just plays the game
yeah,
and doesn't look at the comments,
yeah.
or do you want to be a streamer that is interactive and doesn't care about the game so much? I mean, you really have to be whoever you want to be. So I think for me, obviously, I'm an interactive streamer.
Yep.
I love reading comments. I love the fact that people even show up, even if they're just putting lurking eyes or
Yep.
or giving me some sort of support. Just coming there like, hey man, I'm giving you a thumbs up, or even hey man, I'm giving you a thumbs down. At least it's I've never had that, but at least it's support.
I guess it leads into a very, very important part of YouTube, and I see it in your streams all the time, man. And I'm very blessed that I'm starting to get to your point now, where I've got a fantastic community around me. And before you get into that, I do make cooking videos. I'd just like to point that out. Anyway,
hey, I commented on one, Mr. Weederman.
But
I just so if you guys haven't seen that yet, go check it out. Because the best part is like he puts all this effort in there, and then at the end he's like, "This is what it should look like."
Well, that's.
And I'm like sitting there like, I was like, when did you start making that? When did you make the carrots? Like, where are these carrots?
I didn't show you any of that, but that's it. That's exactly how it looked like before I consumed it. I got to tell you, but
I'm like, man, those carrots came out. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, no, that's amazing. Start doing, like, if you want to branch out and anything. Like, I want to do my computer. Oh, so yeah, that one you might have to edit up. Just shut off for me.
That's all right.
Yeah, like in general, like I mean, you can always branch off. Like you can always. That's the whole point of YouTube. It's creation.
Well,
it might be started at this, it might be that, but
that cooking video was part of the community, and it's why I mention it is it's part of the community. It was a community challenged by people within the Gaming for XP kind of group and the FOAC community and stuff, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. But as I said to Voltgirl, who was one of the people in Japik who put the challenge together to a number of us gamers, it was like maybe EpicHanz should do one actually.
Yeah, I mean, I
said to her yesterday. I said, maybe I should stop making gaming videos and do cooking videos because the views on that are quite astounding. But anyway,
are they? Yeah.
But I think it points to something though. Understand that if you're doing gaming videos, it is very much in the big scheme of YouTube. It's very much a niche. And I think that's why maybe the cooking videos is getting so many views, because I think it's a much bigger part of maybe YouTube, and what YouTube covers. Gaming is a very small niche, and to be good at gaming is not an easy thing to do as far as the channel goes. But getting back to your community, you've got a very, very strong community, and you've got some great moderators. But I'm a bit biased by saying that. But full disclosure that I'm one of Hans's moderators, but it makes a huge difference to if you decide to go down the streaming path. It does make a huge difference to keep things moving and keep the conversation going and making sure people are being greeted when they come to the channel, because as a streamer, and this is things that a lot of people don't talk about, there are so many moving parts to doing a stream, and especially as you get bigger. And I'm the same as you, mate. I think you were talking about go and watch other streamers. Well, my style has been developed through partly watching Hans and how he does his streams, and just observing and seeing how he interacts with the people in his streams. And the other thing I'd like to say is we are a long way into the interview, but you should be noting how upbeat and how how Hans's voice is, and how upbeat is, and how that he loves doing this stuff, and that makes a difference. That will come through to your audience, whether you're doing streams or whether you're doing edited videos. So
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to find your niche. So you got to find a game that you like. Because
Mm-hmm.
if it's a game you don't like and you're just doing it because a few people asked you to play it,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna show.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the same thing with a job or anything like that. And I think that if you love Fallout, play Fallout.
Yep.
You know, you might only get this audience, but that's where you start. Start somewhere. You know, I would recommend you if you're just starting out, especially with the way YouTube has kind of handled a lot of things. Keep doing the same thing because your name will come up with that game
Mm-hmm.
more as you use it.
Yep.
But you definitely just have fun with it. If you want to do a million games, that's nothing wrong with it. And I think I touched this a while ago, but
The first
the
time
first time,
we done the
the
interview.
first time we tried to do this, I think I did. But like I have videos out there. You know, I think I have over 800 videos right now. But um, I have videos out there. You know that I never thought would take off,
Yeah.
and I think one's about 4,000 views now, almost 4,000 views, and it's a 6 minute video of one of my first Let's Plays, and it's god awful. But somehow YouTube promoted it or whatever it may be. I don't really know. I have no idea because I can't. I don't know how it happened. But you just never know what's going to take off
Yep.
in a few years. So don't get discouraged if it doesn't. Like, oh, I put this video out and it didn't give me anything. You don't know where the lineup will come. Maybe a few years down the line.
So what's if you were to give people kind of if you haven't already kind of one a little bit of advice about how to be successful on YouTube, what would it be, Mike?
Be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't try to be somebody else. Obviously, it's the same thing in life.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the best gaming equipment, if you don't have the best camera or whatever you may be doing, don't worry about it. Don't let it discourage you. Start doing it, getting used to committing, you know, once a week or whatever you want to do. But start slow. Do your best. I mean, if you can, you just want to go straight to stream and go for it. For me, like I didn't stream right away.
Mm-hmm.
I just got used to doing Let's Plays with a camera in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then go find your niche. Go find out what you are passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something you're passionate about, it's going to come through. But like I said, it's got to be what you want to do.
But that's I think
and then never take any criticism except for your own.
Yep. I think, and that's a very key point as well. Constant improvement. Challenge yourself to do better on your second video to your first video.
Sure.
You know, and you spoke about it earlier. It's something that I've committed to this year as well. Is to improve the quality of how I do things. But that is a constant since I started my channel. It sounds like the same with you. Since I've started the channel, it's constantly looking at what you're doing, trying to improve things. And again, talking about community, that's where the community can help you improve things. Ask questions, get involved in the community, gaming community, through Discord, through Facebook, through Twitter, whatever it might be, your medium that you choose, and ask other people what they're doing, how they're doing things. You know, I spend, and this is the stuff that people don't see, I spend a lot of time behind the scenes talking to people, and you know, and this is why Meet Your Neighbours was put together to try and highlight content providers, but also give them a little bit of advice about have you thought about this on your channel? Have you thought about that? Not to be critical, but just to say, look, I've been there. I know what you're going through. If you need help, I'm here for you. And you know, I'll reach out to you. I've reached out to you a few times, Hans, and said, man, oh man, I'm struggling with this. Is there anything you can advise? And there is a huge community of people out there that will help you.
Yeah, and I think like the best thing is to, like you said, continually improve whatever content you have. But I think like the best part is you get to get to know people. You get to have these relationships you probably would have never had if it wasn't for YouTube or social media or whatever it may be. Obviously, I probably would have never met you. Unless I somehow randomly,
I'm sorry,
wanted a wiener casserole dish in Australia, and I probably would have, met you, on one of those sites. No, but
well, those sausage sites,
those sausages sites, yeah, well, with no hold bars, man. Get your meat. But yeah, so I mean, like, it just generally, it's amazing community once you get into it. I'm humble. It doesn't matter what your channel is. Like, if you have 3-4 people, those are 3-4 people that are committed to you.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's the cool part is if you start as a gaming thing, you can change whatever you want because the people that are actually there are more than likely there for you.
Absolutely.
They don't care what you play.
Absolutely. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely
right. I think like the ultimate goal here is just do your best content. If it's the best that you can do, then it's going to be amazing. Like, don't let anybody get you down. And honestly, like a lot of things, I have no idea how my channel actually grew, other than the fact that I was putting a lot of time. This last year's kind of been rough, but I was putting, I was streaming for 8-9 hours a day.
Wow.
And I mean, I put the grind in. I wanted to hit that 1,000 mark, and I hit that 1,000 mark, and then like a week or two later, I hit 2,000 mark. So it's about putting that time, that effort into it. If you have that time, no one's going to stop you. So,
and I think
that's the key thing.
I think on that note, Hans, I think I'd like to thank you very much for your insight, mate. I think people are going to get a lot out of it, and thanks for giving up your time for the second time because the first recording.
Second time. This is my second time. Maybe we'll have a third time. This is the worst accent ever.
No, man.
This dude's like, damn it.
Is that a German accent? What is that?
I don't know what that is. That's just what I'm trying right now, man. That's like a Beatles meets,
I have no idea what that
like
is.
Like SpongeBob. Yeah, mate. I'll just keep talking. If you guys want to see more, make sure you check out Stu's channel. Oh, with us.
No worries, man. Look, check out EpicHanz's channel. I'll leave a link down below in the description. You will have fun. You won't be disappointed. Come along and join one of his streams when he goes live. It's hilarious, and there is a good amount of people around that just make it even funnier at times.
That's the only reason I do it, actually. Those guys are crazy. Same thing with your channel, man. Like, I go to Stu's and he does some live streams, and there's cool people in there too. So you guys are amazing. Thanks for having me, Stu. No problem, mate. Yeah, thanks. A pleasure for doing this, mate. And we will catch you next time on Meet Your Neighbours Unplugged. See ya. Say good night. Bye. Have a good time.